This is a short and rather badly made film, cobbled together out of odd bits of video I took while visiting Eddi in Sri Lanka in December 2013. It starts on the Gaul Road and heads down towards Eagle House, from where she runs the Eddi Goes East project. This is also the route she takes every morning with Zigger to Shirley's coffee shop. For the sake of clarity, Shirley is a man who makes the best coffee this side of the equator, and Zigger is Eddi's dog, or more accurately, Eddi is Zigger's devoted servant. Between them, Eddi and Zigger have made great impression on the local population, many of whose children attend classes at Eagle House. They're greeted by just about everyone she passes, most of whom want to buy Zigger, and, Eddi suspects, make lots of cute puppies for sale. One of the things Eddi has not learned is how to say in Singer, "He's been done and cannot make babies," but in most other respects she's very much at home. I asked what she's doing in Sri Lanka and how she got involved in the first place.
Well, I was interested because of the tsunami on Boxing Day, and I was watching it with a friend who'd been to Sri Lanka, and he had been here in an arts project, and I was looking for something to do on retirement, really, leaving the job I was in. And he actually suggested, he said it would be a good idea if I came and tried to do something useful here. And I came over for a holiday, 3-4 weeks, just to look at it, and found that the suicide rate here is rising, is still rising, for teenagers. And that was my special subject in the UK. So I talked to psychologists and psychiatrists here, and they thought it would be a good idea for me to come here. But I didn't want to do lectures and talks and big meetings and expounding my knowledge, etc. I wanted to do something hands-on with children. So I started doing work that I thought would raise self-esteem, because I think that's very important in preventing people getting to the stage of wanting to kill themselves. And I met with psychiatrists and psychologists locally who had done some research, and their outlook was that one of the main reasons was the very strict discipline of girls here, very violent at times, in schools and in the home. So I sold everything I had in Brighton and came here and started to work, I thought, with those psychologists. But it was very difficult for them to get permission to follow the line that they wanted, which was helping parents to understand what was the best way to discipline children. So I stuck to small groups at first of activities like art and craft and play, where I hoped children would get a good sense of self-esteem or raise their self-esteem. But then there was some money around from a previous project for computer teaching. So we started a computer skills class, and then it expanded to being used for the elders in the community, because many people have relatives living in Korea or all over the world sending money back here. And it was absolutely fabulous to see elder ladies, for instance, talking on Skype to their grandchildren and their sons in a different country. So that went very, very well indeed, and that is just coming to an end, but that has been every week for 3.5 years now. And that also has we had the elders and the young people's class, and the young people were 16 to 25, and they obviously, that improves their job chances to have IT skills. The other big thing has been the dancing class, which is traditional Kandyan dance, and by now we have 50 children a week coming through on a Sunday, aged between 3.5 and 19, who do classes in Kandyan dance with a very good teacher. And we've performed in local festivals and in what's called a perahera, which is a big procession, a religious procession. The last one was a 12-kilometre long procession, and all the children danced all the way around that. It was a big event, and they did very, very well. And some of those children may use those dancing skills in the future for jobs, because there are jobs for Kandyan dancers. But the main impact of that has been on them achieving such a lot and improving self-esteem in that way. I don't run that class, I employ a teacher. Classes I run are English conversation for young children, English conversation for elder ladies, and art class. Art class is a mixture of art and play, art being more like craft. This term we took 10 children on a trip to a turtle farm, sanctuary for turtles, and we did a whole term about turtles and fish, and that whole project has, everyone has achieved something in the way of, well, they've made box pictures to take home to put on the wall for their parents. One of the things that happens in every class is at the beginning and end of the class the children can play, and this is a big thing for the girls because they don't have very much opportunity to play. The boys can play outside, but mostly the girls stay at home. So there's badminton and volleyball and football and all kinds of board games. Twister is a great fun thing for them to play, and we have musical instruments. So we have a band, which is a marching band, kind of military instruments in it, and we have now got 4 keyboards. That wasn't intentional. Someone gave me a big Yamaha keyboard, and then now we have 4 keyboards, and a very skilled music teacher who himself is disabled and is in a wheelchair, and so for him that's good employment, and he's very, very good at it, and the children love that. And they also march, like at Christmas they will go to one of the hotels and make like a concert for the hotel. And in January every year we have a big festival. Last year 300 to 400 people here, all doing all kinds of games and activities, dance displays, music, and many people from the community coming. Another big thing at the moment is expanding is the ladies sewing class. I got 1 treadle Singer sewing machine, and now we have 3, 1 very high quality one. And instead of making clothes for themselves, they now as well as making clothes for themselves, they're now making items to sell to tourists. And when I leave, there is going to be a women's kind of a cooperative called Hika Home Craft, in which these ladies will work at home making. They've been covering notebooks with fabric, and I've been trying to identify the kind of thing that is not already on sale here. For instance, there are no soft toys made here, there are no dolls, and quite a lot of collectible items that I know tourists do want are not available. So with the help of Mangalika, who is actually like a manager of the project and who is extremely important to the whole project, it could not run without her, is going to manage that. She's done a lot of bookkeeping, and we're giving her and another few people extra computer classes so that they can do bookkeeping on the computer and learn various programs that they need for that. And they're already beginning to sell some of those things as a trial to see what sells this year, and hopefully when I've gone that will turn into quite a little cottage industry for this area. When I leave, the house will be closed. It's a rented house. A lot of the equipment will go to a large foundation. Presently I teach psychology there to the psychosocial workers. So I have in fact got on with the work about suicide in a different context. Mangalika will run the Hika Home Craft, and the dancing class, looking for a place for that has meant that the village officer has offered us some land, and I think I'm going to be able to get some money to build a community hall that will just have a roof, no sides, but it will have a roof and a small office and a toilet and a small kitchen. And that means that there will be a community centre here with play facilities. The dance class can continue, and the village officer will be in charge and will look after it. So that really is far beyond any expectations that we have had in the past. that something would continue. I came for 2 years, it's now 3.5, and I shall return in 6 months' time to the UK. And there won't be any more money coming in from UK, but people should be able to carry on as they will with the facilities we're leaving for them.